For Creamer Media's Polity, I'm Shannon de Rehove. IBM South Africa Government and Regulatory Affairs Executive Johnny Maloto joins me in studio to discuss the concept of a mobile government. Welcome, Johnny.
Thank you very much, Shannon.
Now, South Africa has been described as a mobile nation, with nearly half the population owning a smartphone and having access to the internet. This means that government is under pressure to redefine how they engage with citizens. What opportunities does the Universal Communication Platform offer to government?
Look, the opportunity that mobile or M-government offers is that with access to platforms such as smartphones or tablet or whatever the case may be, is that now you have the opportunity to tailor-make solutions to individual customer needs, the same way a bank would do, the same way a telephone service provider would do, that through applications you can make those services to be tailored to specific service delivery offerings. Already government has been doing that. If you look at things like the Home Affairs platform, where through your passport application you are able to receive instant notification where the process is in terms of your application and updating you accordingly. So those are opportunities that government need to leverage as we move towards a smarter government. And as the population already has access to these mobile platforms, that is an opportunity that government should be doing more to leverage, to be able to create that personal government to citizens interface, to be able to speed up service delivery. I mean, when you think of going to a government department to receive a service, you think of long lines, you think of, incompetent officials and so on. It need not be. Government has proved that you are able to receive service and deploy service from a distance without people having to travel long distances and be able to shorten the time within which you can deploy services. So that's one of the biggest opportunities that we as IBM see from a mobility perspective. We have already started in other countries deploying similar situations, working in partnership with government. And I think South Africa is a sophisticated enough market to be able to do that.
Especially with such a vast access to the internet through a mobile platform.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Yeah.
Do you think it could also work for things such, I think there's an app where you can let people know where there's a pothole, for instance, and then you can redeploy sort of people to come and fix that pothole?
Of course. About a couple of years ago, we did a similar project with the city of Joburg, where we worked on water leakages. We also did that with Tshwane. In fact, that one around the pothole story, we had an application around that where people could actually, when they spot a pothole, send an instant message through the application, and that would then communicate instantly to the relevant government department to be able to respond to that. So it was more or less your first-hand experience, the citizen being able to say to government, here is a problem, it is in my neighborhood, I have spotted this. You have the ability, without waiting for a long period of time, to be able to instantaneously deliver a solution. So it's possible to capitalize on that. Plus, with such a youthful population that we have in our country, innovation is probably one of the biggest investments that we can make in this country, to be able to leapfrog our solutions, to be able to close the gap in terms of those that are still in what we consider the second economy and the relatively sophisticated economy that we find in metro areas. Yeah.
Now, is there a correlation between broadband penetration and economic activity, and can you elaborate on that?
There is. If you look at the big metros, Ekurhuleni, Joburg, as well as Tshwane, you are definitely seeing a difference in terms of how not just your youthful population, but generally citizenry have been able to access the free availability of Wi-Fi to be able to actually partake in the economic activities of the country. We all know that in the world we still have amongst the most expensive data rates there is, even though they've been coming down for the past few years. This is forward thinking by government to make it easily accessible to the citizenry. Compare that to provinces like Limpopo, that we have also had engagements with to try and help them, to bridge this gap in terms of government to citizen service delivery. They have identified, in fact, one of the biggest impediments to be able to interface with the citizenry as well as leverage economic opportunities as lack of internet penetration. And they now have a strategy that they are working towards making sure that it's widely accessible At the moment, people still access it through their 3G mobiles, and it's something that you purchase, which is a bit expensive. And if you look at what the World Bank has done in terms of studies globally, a 10% investment in your broadband or Wi-Fi access gives you at least a return of about 1.35 return in terms of economic growth. We are currently forecasting that South Africa is going to grow, if at all, around 2 to 2.5%. That's not good enough to have the kind of growth that we want to create jobs, to address the social problems we have. We need about 5% growth. So it is a good investment that government can make in that space. And already we know that in terms of the National Development Plan and as well as the mooted e-strategy, we know that government is seriously, applying itself to making sure that there's broadband penetration. We leverage ICT tools in order to ensure economic growth. So I would say that we are in a positive space, and as an industry, we are there, to support government. We've already, through a number of platforms, engaged government, making our services available, some on a pro bono basis. Of course, some we have still to sustain businesses, but we believe that South Africa is poised for a greater ICT development.
Please tell me more about the programs to roll out free Wi-Fi hotspots in Johannesburg, Cape Town, Ekurhuleni and Tshwane, as well as the benefits of these programs.
Yeah, as I've already indicated, with these programs, you are able to ensure that citizenry can access internet cheaply. But beyond that, just beyond the citizens to be able to receive services, you also, government has made small business a priority. And, that already cuts the cost of doing business. If you are able to access those free Wi-Fi platforms, businesses can be able to develop applications that are actually driven by needs of the communities where they reside, which is something that we're trying to encourage, to say that create relevant solutions and innovation that matters. So once you make that widely available, and I can see now we're also not just talking availability, but as well as speed. So with the speed, you are able to actually deploy quicker solutions. I can give you an example of what we have done. Now we've done this in 3 provinces. We've done what we call hackathons. So hackathons is a platform where we provide our own solutions that are IBM solutions, but they are open access. So we will run a program for a week where we invite people within the city or the province where they can actually, in the past you needed to have a whole setup, a server, a LAN connection, pay for that infrastructure, a PC on your desk. Now you can actually have a smartphone or a tablet, and within a space of minutes, you can actually design and deploy an application. So we encourage such innovation, working with communities wherever we are and making sure that small business can take advantage of this. And so you cut out all the setup infrastructure costs, and you are able to tap into these free sources of internet that government provides, and working in partnership with business. We believe that these can actually make government's vision of creating a small medium enterprise sector a reality.
While these initiatives are laudable, they also present significant challenges for government. Can you please elaborate on these, as well as some of the solutions to these challenges?
Yes. I mean, success begets success. You know yourselves, I mean, a lot of financial services institutions, are deploying all these applications that now it makes it even more easier for you to actually do transactions online. You don't always need to sit in front of a computer to do this. But as we create more success, citizens demand more. That government needs to actually roll out these in other areas. We've seen it work, as I indicated, in departments such as Home Affairs. Why can't we do it in the deployment of or provision of social security grants? Why can't we do it now to notify the citizenry about load shedding? Because it allows for predictability, it allows for planning, which is very essential in terms of how people manage their daily schedules and their lives. So it's more about the real experiences that people have. It's about people, problems, how do we tackle this head on. But at the same time, we also need to look at what other knock-on effects these solutions have. People are always scared to use technology because they don't know where the information goes to. They don't know whether it's protected. They don't know whether... Exactly. And these are some of the things that IBM, for example, amongst other companies, over the past 10 years, we've invested billions of dollars to make sure that whatever solution we deploy, we respect the privacy of our clients. We respect how we deploy those solutions. We respect how we deal with the data that people place at the disposal of their service providers. And that is something I would imagine government is concerned about too. In the same way that you design applications, you need to go beyond just a static application that you can give to a citizen. It must allow for further development and interactivity. It must provide feedback mechanisms. That is why we have developed solutions such as predictive analysis that goes beyond just giving you what you put in. It does more than that. Our Watson program, for example, can draw relationships. It doesn't just allow you to just do searches and just do your transactions. It can be able to actually give you advice. So we have Watson Advice, we have Watson Health. All these solutions that we provide are solutions that are actually created by reality of what we deal with today. Like I indicated, from an IBM perspective, we think data is the new natural resource. All of us today make decisions based on information, but there is just so much of it. It's the same with government. You have how many government departments? Over 40. All of them put together, how much information is really there? Is government capable of being able to tailor-make solutions that suit individual needs? This is where we come in. We say that let's partner. Tell us what your needs are. What are your pain points? What are the citizens' concerns? What is it that you are not able to deal with? How can we then partner to build up those solutions that actually are not only about today, but these look right into the future, and not just into the future, but they are actually solutions that are solutions for the world at large. Because it's not just about creating a solution that is short-term or short-lived. People's problems tend to be, similar wherever you find them around the world. So this is what we are all about, and we believe that platforms such as this offers us the opportunity to interface with enterprises, because we normally deal with enterprises, but we deal with enterprises to enable them to deploy the solutions that their clients require.
Now, finally, what are the main aspects that government should be aware of in its quest to connect more easily with citizens?
As I indicated, firstly, it is the issue around security. It's a very big issue, and I believe that the regulatory environment is developing nicely around that, and it's something that we have already participated in a number of platforms to seek common solutions of how we can deal with this. But at the same time, as I indicated, that time waits for no one. You need these solutions are needed yesterday, and you need to make the necessary investments in that. I know that there are always concerns about, competing priorities. What is it that takes precedence over another? But, ICT is a cross-cutting resource. It enables all lives, all parts of our lives, all aspects of our lives, all aspects of economy. So the sooner we make those investments, the better. And if you can look at other countries, for example, in Africa now, if we compare like for like, countries such as Kenya have deployed so many solutions that are really based on people's needs. The M-Pesa innovation, it's widespread now. It's something that even here in South Africa, we're trying to adopt. I know part of government strategy is to say we need to develop our own homegrown software as well as hardware. But in order for the government to be able to do that, you need to partner with those that have already done it. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. We need to work together to develop the necessary skills to be able to actually execute on those programs. And unfortunately, I've seen over the past few years South Africa slide back in terms of our internet and ICT savviness, and it's something that we need to work on, to develop the necessary capacity. We need to also assist those guys that run ICT programs in government to make sure that there is the necessary absorption capacity of the current solutions that the market has to offer. Because in order for you to create sustainability, you need to make sure that those that will be entrusted with that responsibility do have the necessary capacity to do that. And of course, back this all up by huge investments in research. There is no way you can discount the importance of research. IBM is a company with a heritage of 104 years old behind it, and for the past 22 years consecutively, we've produced the most patents of any company in the world. That's how much we value investment in research. And therefore, we are able to back up our contribution to the partnership with government with years of research to say that, you know, the solutions must be based by real life experience, because we're trying to solve real life problems.
What about infrastructure? We know that most South Africans do access the internet through their cell phone.
Yes.
What about infrastructure for, say, PC access?
Yeah. I believe that that is something that is also part of government's e-strategy. We have seen over the past few years, you know, the level of investments not grow as much as we would want to, but at least the intention is there to make that easily accessible. I believe, you know, part of the challenge that we still face is probably in the far-flung and outlying areas where you may not have as much attention of, you know, big business or companies such as ourselves. And that is something that we are trying to address, to make sure that together with government we go to those areas. In the cities, more or less, I think, you know, the infrastructure needs are easily addressed, because already we are looking today, the ICT industry in South Africa is worth over 100 billion. That's huge. That's huge what we collectively invest in this industry. But how do we make sure that that penetration is as widespread as possible? You know, that it reaches those areas that it needs to reach, so that we're able to talk about true inclusivity that government wants to achieve, so that we're able to translate the democratic dividend into real meaningful socioeconomic benefits. So from an infrastructure point of view, we are looking forward to whatever opportunities that government can put out there. We've read the policy documents, we've seen what government is trying to do, and we want to partner in making sure that we can translate that policy into action, because ultimately it's all about business to translate this into solutions.
Well, thank you very much, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. We appreciate the time.
That was IBM Government and Regulatory Affairs Executive Johnny Maloto speaking to Creamer Media's Polity about a mobile nation demanding a mobile government.